Mike on now? Yeah, I know Mike's on now, so. Welcome, everyone. Tuesday, March 11th, Council Chambers, regular meeting of council. We would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Inca Kappa and Silk people. Also, I'd like to point out that we have Councillor Baxter on the internets. She's not with us tonight, but she's here in spirit. Late items. Do we have any? No. Public input. No public input. Adoption of minutes. 4.1 regular council meeting minutes, February 25th, 2025. Recommendation that the minutes of the regular council meeting held on February 25th, 2025 be adopted. Councillor Ogan, Councillor Petrosi, any errors or omissions on that? Councillor Egan.
I'm not sure if we should have maybe discussed under new business 8.1 2024 year-end funding of reserves and talking about if I don't know if we've got that far yet, but I just want to make a point that we haven't talked about Claybank's reserves.
I guess we have not. I'm sure we haven't.
So we should make a point of doing that.
Sure. Anything else? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Hey.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I'm for it.
Thank you. We heard you. 4.2 special council minute meetings, February 27th, 2025. That the minutes of the special council meeting held on February 27th, 2025 be adopted. Councillor Etchart, Councillor Egan, any errors or omissions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
You carried. Thank you. 5.1 release of closed meeting decisions. The following resolution is released from the February 2025 closed council session. 5.1 Recreation Advisory Committee appointment, that council appoint Gurpreet Chanel to the Recreation Advisory Committee for a term ending November 31st, 2026, and that council approve the public release of this resolution. Councillor Etchart or Councillor. Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake. Moving on to 6, general matters. Delegations and recognitions, unfinished business, none, bylaws. 8.1 fees and charges bylaw, that council directs staff to proceed with option blank for the inclusion in the amendment of the 2025 fees and charges bylaw currently before council. So it's in front of you there. Got time to look at it. And I will open up the floor to suggestions. Somebody's got to put it. Councillor Egan.
That was right on the front page of a summary of increase to the Nicola Valley Aquatic Center. And they also wanted to know, where the youth rate was, and that was on page 18. As well as they also noted that in facility rental rates, I think this is 2024, they said the youth nonprofit groups full pool was $33.60, but that was removed in the new bylaw. So I'm just wondering if the staff had an opportunity to address those concerns.
Seal.
No, we're waiting for a recommendation from council about how they'd like those dealt with. We removed them because the swim lane one is, we didn't have a youth rate versus an adult rate because the youth club is the only one that rents it per lane. But we can certainly put one back in, but we're just waiting for direction of council, what you'd like to see those fees be at.
Councillor Charn. Oh, is that good, Councillor Egan?
Oh, sorry.
Nope. Councillor Charn.
I know 1750 is a hard pill to swallow, but the rates haven't gone up for so long. We are, as stated, we never make money on recreation. We're always in the red on it, and I don't know how long we can keep bleeding more and more money. And I think that the 1750 is appropriate for the amount of expense that we put into the pool.
Councillor Etchart.
Well, I agree with Councillor Charney's comments about how we have to recoup the fees. I just think that doubling it in 1 year is too much for people to budget. And I was hoping that we could maybe meet somewhere in the middle, maybe increasing it from 7 to say 11 this year and then revisiting it either next year or the year after. Just because I understand that we need to recoup funds and cost recover, but we just have to be more diligent at reviewing this more often.
Councillor Hogan.
So when we talk about fees for the aquatic center, I think that we will never recover. It's not gonna be, that's not gonna happen. So you may, CAO had mentioned the ideal 30%, that recovery, but right now we are in the 13, 15, less than 15%, right? So that's not gonna change. I agree with Councillor HR. I feel like we need that increase, but I don't want to jump to 1750 at once. I think that we can just meet in the middle.
Okay, so the Recreation Advisory Committee looked at some things, did some calculations, and came up with 1350. But if council is more than happy to go with 11 or 1150, I think that would be fine. That's our choice to do so, understanding that we are going to take a loss. And as Council Ogan said, we're never ever going to hit that on the numbers. So the only thing is that we did take into consideration the minor hockey costs are way more than this, like way more. So we have to start kind of balancing that out. But Councillor Ogan.
So I'm comfortable with the recommendation of 1350. So I just want to remind everyone that this is going to be reviewed again in 2026. So we will learn from now what's going to happen, and at that time we can just reassess.
So you're okay with B?
Yes, option B.
Councillor Egan.
I'm okay with option B as well.
Councillor Petrosi.
Yes, option B also, thank you.
And the only reason I want to say that too is because it was the Recreation Commission that actually recommended this.
Yes,
And I think we should try and follow their lead.
I agree. They're a great group of people. I sit on that group. No, they are. They really came to they adapted quickly, and I was very happy with and proud of the way they did things. So recommendation, I'll read it again, that council directs staff to proceed with option B for inclusion in the amendment to the 2025 fees and charges bylaw currently before council. Did I get that seconded? I haven't seconded. Okay. I need a seconder. Councillor
Aye.
Petrosi, Councillor Ogan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. New business. What amendment?
So we're putting them all forward as part of it. I just want to ensure.
We'll bring it back. Okay, thank you. New business. 9.1, Councillor Conference. Oh, so yes. Please. CAO.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I would like to formally apologize for the disruption that I created at the Committee of the Whole last week. I apologize to my staff, to the residents, and to Mayor and Council. I recognize that my actions negatively impacted the process of council. I reacted to the negativity of the presentation being made, but I can own my reaction and my mistake. I'm passionate about working in municipal government and serving the community. I'm also passionate about creating a work culture where all members of staff feel valued. I believe that all staff, current and former, have worked in the best interests of the community under the mandate of the council of the day. So please accept my apology and know that I see this as being part of my lifelong learning journey, both personally and professionally. I apologize to the residents of Merritt and to each member of council who also clearly passionate about this community, or they wouldn't have put their names forward and taken the chance to sit in these seats. So again, apology. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Moving on to new business. Councillor Conference request recommendation that council approve the attendance of Councillor Egan and Councillor Charney at the 2025 BC Economic Development Summit Conference in Penticton from May 12th to the 15th, 2025. Second recommendation that funds be allocated from the council conference and seminars account. Councillor Petrosi, Councillor Ogan. I think this is important. I think Councillor Egan, you've been at this several times, and I think you brought back some very valuable information. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Just give me a second here. There we go. 9.2, Employment and Education Fair, April 9th, 2025. Recommendation that council approve providing free access to the public transportation for those attending the Employment and Education Fair at Nicola Valley Institute of Technology on April 9th, 2025. Councilor Petrosi, Councilor Ogan. I have one quick question here. We don't control transit, so we would end up paying for that block because we don't actually control transit. CEO.
So it seems to be a complicated situation in that they have to have permission from us
Okay, no,
to
that's
offer
fine.
the service for free. So I don't think we actually pay for it, but they have to have consent from us. So
Excellent.
I don't know how much control we have over
Yeah,
it.
I just want people to realize that we do not control transit in this community because some people think we do and we don't. Councilor Charney.
So we don't pay for it then? Or we are paying for it?
See ya.
Do we give them a pass? Is that what it is?
Do we
Tickets, yeah?
It's $2 ticket, yeah. It says total,
Yeah, no, but you just said.
it says total cost to the city of Merritt for providing this service could range from 100 to 300 depending on the number of seats. Okay,
Acting director to come up because she was dealing with this directly.
come on up, Al, kiss the button there. Thank you.
Good to go. Yes, so we aren't paying directly. That's just the estimated cost if we were to pay for the tickets.
Okay.
We will be creating tickets, if it's approved. They will be at the different collaborators' businesses and then they can pick them up. They'll have to give a ticket to the driver to get on the bus. The bus driver will also have a stack of tickets for people that may have not had the chance to pick one up, but are still attending the fair. So we can keep a good count of how many people actually use the service for next year.
Excellent. Thank you. Councilor Charney.
I think this is an excellent idea. And also, could we incorporate this into Silga? I mean, some people will be up at the hotels up there, or conference down here. So could we do this for Silga?
Little late. I guess that would be up to Silga to make the request.
Oh, we as the hosting city can't make that request?
No,
Oh,
that would
okay.
have to be Silga.
Mm.
Yep.
Speak to the.
Thank you, Alec. Appreciate it. Okay, so we voted on that, right? Yes, we did. Did we vote? Oh, no. Okay, I have a mover and seconder, right? All those in favor? Opposed,
Aye.
carried. Thank you, carried. Oh, here's a fun one. 9.3, Milo the mascot. Right. Okay. Oh, I already got it in my package. Oh, yeah. So as you're doing that, I'm going to read the recommendation. So for those who don't know, Milo the mascot is our new mascot in the community. And we have a couple of recommendations. Recommendations that council selects an option for the digital creation of the mascot. So that would be basically the item that we see on paper as we hand out stuff. It'd be buttons, hats, shirts, whatever. And the second recommendation that council selects option whatever for the development of the mascot costume. Recommendation that council direct staff to purchase the costume in 2025 using the identified grant funding. There, as it says in your package, there is no cost for the costume to be built. We just have to come up with an option that we like and don't like. So I will hand that to Alec, I guess, and questions abound. Oh, could I get a mover and a seconder, please, on that? Councillor Egan, Councillor Charney. Alec, please. Oh.
Any questions to start?
Yeah, I said, so we're voting on that particular picture, we're voting either for a hat or no hat.
Yes.
They're actually two different pictures.
Yeah, they're two different.
Yeah, so different color eyes. There's a little bit more yellow on the one with the bucket hat. So they are a little bit, one looks a little bit younger than the other one.
Yes.
So notice, trust me, look at the guy with the hat. So he's the middle-aged guy. He's a little fatter than the other guy there.
I wasn't gonna say which one.
I like one. I don't like the hat.
So we took the design that Astra designed and then worked with the company to make something that would fit in a costume because of course the original Milo was a great drawing, but you couldn't fit a human being in it. So this is from the mascot company that has worked with us to create with these designs.
See, option two looks like he's got candy in a van somewhere.
Right. Something wrong.
Yeah, I don't, so I don't know. The only thing that's missing is his metal detector.
I know, but it's, well, I guess he's gonna be warm enough in the, or that's just.
Hey, that's-
or that's just the picture, right?
Yeah, this is just the,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he will evolve, like he could, in the digital one, have no hat or a hat, or if he is on a pool item, might be swimming. It's just the digital, yeah.
So, yeah,
This is our first time doing this, and I think what you're really looking at is there is some differences in how the face is structured, and then the color scheme of the body. The shirts are the same. Those are the city color scheme. So you're looking at sort of which one appeals, because it will get modified depending on what we use it for. But yeah, they're a little bit different.
Yeah, the face on number one is there.
Councillor Etchart.
We're just looking at the other picture where it says the sample rodent mascots without the hat on the second piece where they're actual costumes, but
Mhm.
the second one with that yellow sweater looks like a dead cat or something. Like it looks really long in the tooth and it just like.
Well, option two also, the guy, he looks more like a bear. I mean, he's got that longer nose, right? Whereas option one has kind of that
Yeah,
Milo Marmot nose, like, anyway. So we have two options, option one or option two.
number one.
Option one seems to be the option we're looking for. So option one. Let's move on to the next one. Council selects for the actual costume that some poor person has to live in. That's what. the
You
top-
should, yeah, we didn't want to show all 8 of the rodents, but these are definitely the top 2.
All 8 of the ones. I'm going with option one. I like option one way better. Option one. So I'll read the recommendation again. Recommendation that council selects option one for the digital creation of the mascot. Recommendation that council selects option one for the development of the mascot costume. And recommendation that council direct staff to purchase the costume in 2025 using the identified grant funding. I do already have a seconder and so all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. It's fine.
That's the general.
Of the body itself, and
It's
then we
fine.
get to.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. Thank you, council, for picking the new mascot. I think it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that, especially when it's 112 degrees out. Yeah, yeah. Notices of motion. Oh, right, sorry, my mistake. I've gone through it. 9.4, late grant and aid application review. Recommendation that council approves the late 2025 grant and aid request as follows. Nicola Valley Farmers Market Association, $1,100 in kind request. This is for the use of the lot, correct? This is an in kind. This is not actual dollars. Okay, excellent. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Egan, Councillor Etchart, or Councillor Etchart, Councillor Petrosi, sorry. Conversation on this. Councillor Hogan.
So I am in favor, so I think that I recognize what the organization does. So I just want to be fair here. When we deal with other applications in the past for organizations that have received prior funding, in this case, that's going to be 3 years in a row. So for other organizations, we ask to provide a letter. So I think that could be the same situation here, just to be fair with the other organizations. We can just provide, approve the in-kind support as well as add the letter for this organization as well. Thank you.
Councillor Charney.
I agree that this is a great group that puts on an attraction that is for everyone in town and outside of town to come. And I think it's meets my approval, and hopefully it meets everybody else's approval.
Councillor Egan.
Thank you. I just wanted to point out that even if we're giving an in-kind of $1,100, does that not come out of our budget? And that would
It does.
wipe us out for the rest of the year. So everybody here out there, if we approve this, there's no more late applications.
Yep, once the money's gone, the money's gone. That's the way we're gonna be on it. Councillor Etcher.
I think everybody else has said everything already, so I pretty much echo the same. I support it. It's a community event. It's something in the middle of town. It's an annual thing. People expect it. And I just think we need to approve it. Thanks.
Councilor Petrosi?
Yeah, excellent group of people, and it's more important than ever to be shopping local. So really push that. Thank you.
Would it be okay for us to possibly move this to the policy committee as something that recurs every year rather than coming on? Because this is the safest place for this thing to be. We've had it down across from Pharmasave in the parking lot, and you know, there's traffic all over the place, and this just seems to be the most favorable place for it to be. So rather than doing this every year, would it be favorable for us to possibly look at a line item, or is this something we would not want to do?
So I would suggest if you want to do that, you just do it as part of your recommendations for 2026 budget.
Okay.
So
Okay, well, that's.
sure, I can deal with that.
I'd like to
I
throw it in.
think that as they continue to grow, which between last year and this year, like last summer and this summer, there was a big difference in number of that we might have to consider a larger venue where there's more parking available.
Well, we still have the ability to go all the way down behind Bailey House and then across the street into some of the pool parking lot if we had to.
Except that there's often people parked in
Yeah,
there already.
But we still have
yeah.
a ways to go yet before we get too carried away.
We definitely are not, because of our contract with Hydro, we cannot block those EV
No,
stations.
and they're very careful to make
Yeah,
sure that doesn't
So
happen.
we'd have to look at that.
So
going
last
forward.
year they were complaining about it and I went twice unannounced and I took pictures and I sent them to Hydro.
Mhm.
There was no way. They have a sign that says, enter from this side, EV charging here. So they take very good care of that.
Yeah,
So,
and if you're moving it
Yeah.
through the rest of the parking lot, that will become problematic. So
Yeah.
they may hopefully outgrow this, hopefully they'll outgrow the space.
okay,
That's
Councillor,
positive.
Councillor Egan.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask if they were not to get this grant and aid, does the city, would they be charging them $100 every Saturday? Is that where they get the $1,100 from? Okay,
Yep.
I just don't recall ever seeing $100 for a rental of that parking lot anywhere.
Well, because they're the only ones who actually rent it and they're the only people that we've ever rented it out to. So yeah, it was a negotiated situation. So I just a thought off the top of my head. So I have a mover and seconder on that, yes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Thank you. And we are out of money. So if you have a late grant and aid, not us. We have $15. Okay. Notices of motion. Anyone have a notice of motion? No? Reports from council. I'll go first. February 27th, I went to the Schwacom Health Doctor Welcome that was over at the Civic Center. And it was very nice to see all of our new doctors from all over the world. And it was a very nice drum ceremony and a welcoming ceremony and a blanket ceremony. We had a really nice lunch after, did a lot of networking, and it was really nice to see these doctors in our community. February 27th, we had a budget meeting that night. February 28th, I had a phone meeting with the BC Forest Minister, Ravi Parmar, on the future of logging in the community that he's quite concerned about. He's going to be making a trip up here to have a look at some things. We discussed some of the things that we have discussed. I pointed him to our UBCM resolution that we put out 2 years ago, first year we were in, about getting the permits signed on time. So I directed him to that and some other things. March the 30th, I met with the French CBC reporter that has been doing a 3-year continuous story on the flood and recovery. This is, I think, her 3rd year here. And she is working on a story of what it looked like from the day it happened to where we are now. And I appreciate the work that she's doing. She's very passionate about it. And I'm not sure how many more years she'll be doing this, but it's nice that she comes and does it. On the 4th, I met with Mako crew and toured the building. And they are very excited about the building. They expect to have the building done in June. The equipment in by November, and they're getting ready to put up signs and do a job fair here fairly soon. So they're moving along rapidly and they're very excited. March 4th, we had a cow meeting. March 6th, I was at TNRD. And March 11th, I was at the, today I did my food bank and city walk. And I was approached by about 3 or 4 people about council and the city still pushing hard for our hospital. Both people that talked to me had to be diverted both times. to the Kamloops. So they understand the work that we're doing and they want us to keep doing it. So I was very happy with that. Returning for the evening, Gas Buddy, Kamloops 156.9 is the cheapest. 169.9 is the most expensive. Kimberley 155.9 across the board. Vernon 149.9 and 154.9. Prince Rupert 179.9. Merritt a low of 158, a high of 169. Also like to take this moment to welcome Mayor Diaz of Kelowna back. He had a very scary incident and was gone for about a month, and now he's back. So I welcome him back, and I'm glad he's back on the helm. Also wanted to say thank you to the Merritt Centennials for a fantastic year this year. An expansion team. Now we're out of the playoffs, but we made the first round of playoffs. They won one game. The hockey was fantastic all year long. The arena was packed more and more and more every game. And for an expansion team to go as far as they did only goes to show the future of this great team. Our coach was voted Coach of the Year. And the owners of the team are invested in this community. And, they've really brought back a good sense of hockey in this community. We had a local boy on there this year, and I really enjoyed it. It was a great family event, and we'll be looking forward to next year. So congratulations to them and all the hard work that went into it. And congratulations to council for working with the Centennials to give them a home for the next 4 years. So that's me in a nutshell. Nobody else did anything. Councillor Etchart.
When you say it like that, everybody's done stuff. I mean, nothing like a good shaming in a council meeting. Yeah, we had a special budget meeting. There was a local government reform with the AVIC group that was hosted. So that was, of course, lots of detail about area directors and what they can do and what they can't, and public powers and stuff. It was really exciting. Committee of the whole March the 4th, and then last week SOGA had a regular board meeting where they're talking about different things they want to introduce for the next board. So they're already planning that because SOGA is going to be here in April. So yikes, it's ramping up fast. So anyway, lots happening.
Anyone else? Councillor Egan.
Other than all the meetings that we had in the last couple of weeks, the only other thing that was really interesting is that Corin, yes, from Silga contacted me wanting to know if we had any local wineries that they could use so they could buy local wines and give them as gifts. So it's unfortunate that we don't. So I recommended some other really nice wineries in our outer areas, not from the great big places, just focus on some smaller places. So she said she was going to look into those. The cidery is already coming to, yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Councillor Baxter, anything? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Thank you very much. Information items. We have one, the RCMP monthly report. Any seal?
Sorry, this is a new type of information item that the staff sergeant and I were working on. And I think it goes in the vein of what Councillor Ogan talked about at our budget meeting about making sure people know the work that gets done. Instead of just the mayor meeting and getting an update from the staff monthly and the police commission meetings, I think it's important, and I've seen this done elsewhere, where they provide a monthly report, and maybe quarterly we can have the staff come in and answer questions that council may have. But I think it gives people a real sense of the volume of work instead of just always hearing the negative on Facebook.
Good. Councillor Charney.
I appreciate you saying maybe coming quarterly, because that's what I was going to suggest. I like this. It keeps you kind of in tuned, and you really do see a lot of the problems that we're encountering. But I would also like if we could have a quarterly presentation by the staff sergeant so we can have some interaction back and forth. And I think it might help, sometimes clarify some situations up. And I also think it's good that people listen to, if they're listening online, some of the obstacles that the RCMP are encountering. And, obviously I guess they do read this online. Do they, this report? Is it online? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, they can see just exactly what they're dealing with. So, but I would like to see quarterly presentations.
I do believe he's mentioned that. That'd be easy enough to get done. Used to happen all the time. So I think we need to bring it back. I agree. Anything else on the information item? Closed session, recommendation that this meeting be closed to the public pursuant to section 91E, the acquisition, disposition, or expropriation of land or improvements. If the council considers the disclosure could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality of the community charter. Councillor Petrosi, Councillor Ogan, we will go to closed, 5 minutes. Thank you all.